Hi all. So today in this video we are going to see about record relationship. So we are already aware about the term record. In Appian, like, records are very important. Okay, so whatever the data throughout your organization or project is there, it can be come at one point through records. Okay, all the data at a single place, and everything can be managed. Okay, and then relationship all is also very important, like how one data is related to another data. So like this, so today we will see about one to many relationship. So one to many relationship. So first of all, let's understand what is one to many relationships. One means one to many relationship. There can be various examples, like one customer is there. Okay, one customer. Suppose you are a customer, okay, on Zomato. Suppose Zomato is there, and you can order a lot of things. You can go to your history and you can see like you have ordered a lot of things. Every day you can order different things. So one customer can do many orders. So that is one example of what you can say is one to many relationships. Similarly, and there can be other examples as well, same customers only. So for example, one simple person we will take. So, okay, one person is there. Now one person can have many credit cards, right? So many credit cards. So this is also an example of one to many relationships. Similarly, there can be different examples as well. Okay, so now we are also going to take one simple example, and based on that example we will see how to map this one to many relationship in that. Okay, so for that purpose, how to start, right? So first of all, if you look at the term record, so record itself means like directly from the database. Okay, data can be referred in records. Okay, so we don't need to create any CDTs, so we skip the CDT part. Directly from the database we refer in the record. So where we have to go? First of all, we have to go into our database. So let's go into the database. That's why records are very useful. Like, we directly skip the CDT part. No need to do CDTs, and then what you can say, data store. No need to add entity there. Directly we can just go and create something in the database, and we can directly refer in our Appian with the help of records. Okay, so we are going to take one example. Let's see. The example goes like this. So there will be a table of developer. Okay, there will be a table of developer. Developer will have their ID, okay, name, and let's add one more field, something as experience. So this is the developer field. Okay, and there will be another table of projects. Now one developer can work on many projects. Okay, so let's see, the project will have an ID of itself. Okay, and the project will have the project name as well, and the project will also have the developer ID, like which developer has worked on which projects. So these are the two tables we are trying to create in our database. So similarly, we can see that one developer can work on many projects. So we will create one to many relationships based on this example. So first of all, let's create a developer. Let's create a developer table. Okay, so ys developer. So we will give the ID. Let's make it auto increment. That's fine. And after that we will have the name. Name will be varchar, and let's give it 100 is fine. And after the name we will give experience. Experience, that is int. That's not required, and that's it. Save it. Okay, so now our developer table is ready. So you can see that. Now let's add some data into the developers as well. Okay, I have created a developer table, and the table go like the name I have added and their respective experience I have added. Now let's create another table. Okay, and this time we will create ys underscore tables are now created. Now let's add some data there, like first project was based on some banking project. Okay, on go. Okay, so now you can see that I have inserted the data in the database. First table was developer. I have added 3 developers there: Asif, Saurabh, Peter. Their experience, fine, simple, just data insertion. And the second table I have added was some of the projects name I have given and the developer ID, like which developer has worked on which project, so that both this table can be related. Okay, now let's come. So first step was what? Okay, so let us go back. Okay, so first step was what? Okay, create database tables. Okay, that we have done. Okay, now second step is what? Create record. So now we will create the record. So first record, let us create. Okay, so okay, it was already open, huh? So first record we will create for what? Developer. Okay, so first record we will create for developer. Done. Let's create this record type is created. Let's keep the basic setting as well, and the second record as well, let it open. We will create the second record as well, and that will be for the project. Yes, project, and project name will auto populate. Let's keep the settings as it is. Okay, now the second record is also created. Now we are in the developer record. Now it is saying that tell us about your data. Where is the data? So our data is in the database, that is automatically selected. Let's click on next, and now this is sync feature, let it enabled. Okay, now we have to search our table. So this was developer table, so I will just search for developer, and you can see that once I search the table, the data is preview. In preview, fine, let's click on next. This is what, any field if you want to change, you can change from here as well. Okay, so now let's save the changes. So once our record is created, we can see the data preview as well. So you can see like ID is here, okay, and the names are populated, and the experience are also, all the data which was there in the database are populated. We didn't need to create any CDT for that. We didn't need to update any data store. All these things are skipped. Now let's add the project again. Let's go to the database. Okay, our connection database, let's click on next, and now let's search the table. Table was what? Project. So one table is there, that is project, and you can see data preview, fine, that is, and let's click on next, and project name, and then developer ID. Okay, fine, let's click on finish. So both our tables are records are now completed. Now coming to the what you can say that our tables are created. Now third point is what? A relationship. Okay, so now we will see about a relationship, how to create the relationship. Okay, so you can see that from the record only, here only we will see. So this is the developer table. Okay, these are the developer names, these are the IDs of the developer. Okay, and what we have assumed is one developer can work on many projects. So okay, so what kind of relationship it will be? Have one to many, means one developer will give many, one developer can work on many projects. So let's go to the data structure, and here you can see the add relationship button. Okay, just click on this add relationship, and it will show us like with which record you want to relate this record. Okay, so I want to record with project. Okay, so it will give me the project YS project record I have given. Now three records, three types of relationship are given here: one to many, many to one, one to one. Okay, so what we are currently working on is one to many relationship. Now this is the part. So two parts will be there. Okay, when creating a relationship you have to configure, you can say that here two fields. Okay, two fields need to be set. Now first field is what? First field, if you see that our relationship is what? Our relationship is a bit one to many. Okay, this is our relationship. So first field will be of 1, which is the table where you are considering the 1. Okay, and that is what you can see that it must be the common field, must be a unique field. Okay, so generally whatever the 1 it is there, take their primary key. Okay, maybe sometimes primary key is not there, some other key, but they must be unique and it will auto populate, you don't need to worry. So in our table, if you see that the developer table was there, so automatically IDs are there. Okay, I have, okay, so they are auto increment and unique as well, so they are populated. Okay, so we have to consider their primary key. Automatically it will anyway it will auto populate only. And now second field is the project. It is saying us project. So in the many table, so one table we have done it in one to many. For the many part, what we have to do there, type will be same. Primary key is okay, whatever the other field you are taking, type will be same as this one only. Okay, so you can see two fields, you can see auto populated. If you select text, it will give error, like it must be of same data type. So other field we have already like considered is developer ID. So developer ID is the other field that we have already considered. Okay, so it will be of same type only. It will be of okay, same type. Don't forget to configure this. Something must be there from this table to this table so that both will be linked. Now let's, in the preview, let's search any developer name. So if I search any developer name, let's say like Assis is there. So okay, so let's paste it here. So Assis will come here. If I check it, so you can see Assis has developed experience of 2 years. Okay, and he has worked on 2 projects, banking project and vehicle management project. So we can see that our relationship is working fine. Okay, so what we have learned, first of all, check one to many relationship. That's what we wanted to see. Developer is there, so check automatically whatever the fields are populated, you have to select that only. Okay, but make sure that it is a unique field. In our case we have already taken primary key, so that's not an issue. Now in the second project, make sure to add such a column which will be related to the first table. So we have a developer, in the developer have their respective IDs, and the same has been reflected in other table as well as developer IDs. So make sure to have something in common in both the tables, otherwise relationship it will be difficult to map. Now let's click on add. So now you can see that our relationship is successfully mapped. Okay, so this was about the relationship, but let's see till here I guess it was a bit easier to add a relationship. We have added that. Okay, and you can see the preview as well, and maybe you can play with this as well. Sorry, this is very good feature. Anyway, now we will see like how to use this relationship. Learning is fine, but let's try to use this relationship. So for that purpose, what we will do here is we will take 2 scenarios. Okay, fifth is uses. We will take 2 scenarios. First scenario is like this. First scenario goes like let's see, like we have 2 tables, one developer is there, one developer and one project table is there. Okay, so first scenario goes like, if I select a project, okay, select project, so I should be able to get developer name. See, both are from different table. Project, okay, select project, you can say name. Okay, project name is from the project table, developer is from the developer name. Okay, so I should select a project and I should get a developer name, like who has developed this project. Fine. Second scenario we will also consider something as this. Second scenario we will consider like this, like one select developer. So we will select a developer name. Okay, after selecting the developer name, we should be able to know how many projects he has worked on, how many projects he has worked on. Okay, so these are the two scenarios we are going to take so that we can better understand this relationship. Okay, so first of all, let's go and create a expression rule, and then we will go into the interface as well and map it. Okay, so get first scenario is what we have to get the project names. Okay, so get developer name. So first is this. So we will select a project and we will get the developer name. Let's see how to do it. So now we have to query the data. To query the data we have to use abank query, and now don't use the entity, we have to use a record, abank query record type. Fine, and then we have to use what is the record type here. Okay, so directly we will map it. Okay, so record type is what we will select the project name. So project name is from which record? Project is from the project record, like we have to select a project. Okay, so let me go and map the project. Okay, so project record is there. So first of all we are querying on the project record. Okay, and now let's configure the paging info, abank paging info, and 1 and let's say like 5 we will give. See, in paging info -1 doesn't work. Even if I give -1, no, I guess it will throw some error. See, it can be between 0 and 5000. So let's give it 5, and now you can see that we will be able to get all the data. We don't need any other data, so let's give it dot data. Fine, so we are able to get the IDs and the project name. This is till here, this is fine. Okay, so our requirement was we have to select a project name. It means that we have to filter the data with the help of project name. So I will create a rule input of project name. It will be of type text. So if I give any project name, let's say banking is there, I should be able to get the banking data. So I have created a rule input. Let me create the filters so that I will filter the data. Okay. Okay. Oh, what I'm even doing? No. A bank query filter directly I can use it. Only one filter I have to use. That's why. No need to create a list. Fine. So field is there. So what is the field name? See, in the record, if you are referencing a record, you can't directly give the field name as ID like that we used to give in the query entity. You have to give with the help of record. Okay, so project is there. Select the project. Now let's click on fields, and the project name is there. Now this project name, second point is the operator. It should be equal to value. It should be equal to whatever we specify in the rule input. And now let's see that. Now you can see if I type banking, so I'm only getting the banking name, nothing else I'm getting. Okay, so our filter is as well set. Now time to use the relationship. So this is where the relationship will come into picture. Okay, so this is where relationship will come into picture. So for the relationship, you can see that I have used the record type. Fine. I have used the filters, paging info. Fine. Now there is also called fields are there. Which field you want to see? Okay, so let us go and configure the fields. Okay, what are the fields that you want to see? So first of all, I want to see the project name, obviously. Okay, so you can say like I only want to see the, okay, let's leave over the project name that is there. Only 3 fields are there, doesn't much matter. So let's how we have to configure the relationship. Let's go and do the project. This is the project, and for the relationship, if you click on dot, so here you will get the relationship. Okay, click on the relationship. Now this project is not at, oh, this project is not at all related. Okay, actually I have set the relationship as one to many. Why it is not getting, okay, this is the developer. Okay, the project, if I go in the data structure, it doesn't have any relationship. Okay, so let me just refresh it, the project name, and it will give some suggested relationship. Now see, if if one developer can work on many projects, it means that many projects can be done by one developer, like this. So that's why it is suggesting a cross relationship. If you see the direction of the signal, it is point is one to many, and what it is giving here is many to one, opposite. So let's click on that, and it will automatically, you can see, instead of that, let me just add all. Let me click, only one relationship was there, that's why I directly added it. Now you can see that it is automatically added now, many to one relationship. Okay, so many projects can be done by developer. Let's click on OK. Okay, and now let's save the changes. And now let me just go back and let me write the project again dot relationship, and now you can see that I'm getting the relationship. So YS developer is done, project. Okay, and from the developer relationship, what I want, which field I want the name. Okay, and now let's click on see. So banking project, who has worked on banking project? Ashish has worked on banking project, like this we are getting. So let's go, if you see that, if I select a banking project, only one project is there. So on this project only Ashish has worked. Ashish has worked on some other project as well, but that was vehicle management. Okay, let me select insurance. So if I select insurance here and paste it, so who has worked on insurance? Saurabh has worked on insurance. Okay, so like this we are getting the data. Okay, so okay, so we are getting only directly this YS developer data. Okay, so we can leave it like this, or we can in the expression rule, like in the interface as well, we can change that. Okay, if we need in the interface, we will change it. Now let's create a interface for that. Okay, so record, okay, project and developer, something like this. I'm just writing, okay, project developers, and let's create this interface for that. Okay, so now let me just take a form layout from here. Okay, in this section we can delete it. Okay, let's take this column, and in this column what we will, first of all, we will use we will populate our project names. Okay, so let me just use abang local variables. Okay, and first of all we want to get all the project name, local bank project names. So there are two ways of mapping it. So either we can directly map it here, which will save us some time, or if we can already the project names are there in our database, so from the record as well we can directly get the project name from here as well. Okay, so let's get from the database only. So for that purpose, like, we have to create another expression rule so that we can only get all the project names. Okay, so let's do that as well. Okay, get project names. So all the project name we will get with the help of this expression rule. Okay, so abang query record type, and the record type is project. Okay, and now we will take the paging info. Okay, so abang phasing info is there, 1 comma. Let's take it, we only have 5 records, so let's take something as 10. Fine. So now let's take the dot data. So if you take dot data, actually only data will be. Now we don't want the all the data, we only want the project names. Okay, or let's keep it as it is. If we want any other thing in our UI, we will get all the data in the UI first, and then we will extract whatever we need. Okay, so it goes like this. So rule bang this. Now if we check the local variables, currently it is null. Let's test the interface and all the data will come. Now whatever the data, why I didn't get only the project name, now whatever the data I want, I can get it. Okay, so this is not the name but the data. Now I will get project data from here, local bang project names. Okay, so how to get the project name? So I will use the property function for that, or let's use it. So first of all the data is where? Local bang project data. Every data is present there. Okay, now how to refer? If I use dot, okay, in the project data, and in the dot I will just use something called project name. Will it work? Okay, so dot project name. Let's test it and let's test. So you can see like it is giving error like YS project must be indexed by its corresponding record type fields or relation. So record cannot be referenced by like this. Query entity can be done but not here. So what we have to do, we have to give this bracket, and now we will use project record. Okay, this is the project dot fields and then project names. And now if you test it, okay, so now you can see that all the project names are there. Okay, so this is how you reference the records. Okay, so I guess it is becoming a bit of a record tutorial as well. Fine. Now in the drop down we will give a project. Okay, okay, like this, project name. Okay, so now let's make the choice labels as local bang project names, done, and this as well, local bang project names. That's it. So now you can see that all the project name will be available here. To save the data, what I'm going to, I'm just taking a rule input here. Okay, so project name, and it will be type of text. Let's create it, and in the value parameter we'll give a rule input project name, and in the save into as well we will give rule input project name. So let's select any project and you can see the value will auto populate. Right, if I give sales, then sales is populating. If I give medical, then medical is populating. First part is done. Now what we actually wanted, we wanted that we should be able to select a project and we should able to get like which developer has worked on, because that data is from different table. Okay, so let me add a text box here. Okay, and now from the text box only we will get developer. Okay, developer name, which developer has worked on it. So first of all, this was the insurance project, right? So this was the expression rule for the developer name. So let's go and use this expression rule there, local bang developer name. Okay, so rule bang this, and you can see that it is giving us one argument, like it has 0 parameter passed. So we have to pass actually one parameter. And where is our project name getting saved? It is getting saved in rule input project name. Okay, so now it is getting saved into rule input project name. So let's see, like if I have selected medical, so you can see in the developer name a lot of data is coming. What are all the data here? So project name is there, then again it is coming inside developer, and finally the name is there. So it is a lot of do. So let's do all this work inside this only. Okay, So first of all we will give the property function here for the data part. Let if we are removing we are querying the data, so why to leave the dot here. Let's keep it here as well. Let's remove it here. We should do for all. Test it. Till now it is working fine. First property is done. Now in the second property we will get the property of let's use now what we have to use here is the property of what YS developer, but directly don't use YS developer. See what will happen if I use developer here. YS developer dot fields, I just want the name, right? And if name is not there, just give me null. See what is the error. It is giving null directly because nothing is there. If I don't give null, no, it will break something like this, because actually what happened was initially it is directly the query is the data has been queried on project. So every data wherever you have to go with the help of project first. Directly you can't refer any other records here. So you have to go to project. First of all go to project, go to relationship, go to developer, and then go to fields and go to name, and now test it. So now you will get the data name. So that's what we wanted. Okay, so now test it once again, this UI, and now we can see that oh, something has changed. Oh, the value must not be null. Null. Okay, this is the only why is get developer name. For null it is breaking. Let me remove that and test it here. Null value is not getting. So if let me add a null check here to avoid that error. If is null. What is null? Rule input project name, then emp means null, otherwise property. Now let's see. Now it won't break. Now let's test it here as well. Now it won't break. Okay, really? Should I have to refresh it or what? Interface, it is working. YS get developer name. Oh, this is not saved, sorry. I am refreshing there, it is not saved here. Test it once again. This is the last time. Yeah, so let's select a project and you can see that I will get the developer name. So where is our this developer name value? Let's give the developer name as local bank developer name. That's it. So you can see now Saurabh is populating. Let's make it a read only. Okay, so read only is true. Okay, so now we have successfully referenced a record. Okay, and with the help of that we have got the project as well. So I have used insurance. If I use sales, then in sales who has worked? Okay, looks like Saurabh only worked. Let's check medical. Peter has worked on medical. If I choose insurance, then Saurabh has worked. If I choose banking, then Ashish has worked on that. So this is a kind of many to one relationship. Okay, we should have done the one to many first, but fine. Now let's go to our one to many relationship. Okay, so let me again take a drop down here. Okay, and in this drop down what it should actually contain? It should contain, like, I should be able to search a developer. First scenario it was what? Select project name, get developer name. Okay, we have successfully done it. Done. Okay, that is one part is done. Now second scenario is what? Select a developer name and how many projects he has worked on. All the names we have to list it down. Okay, so there is the drop down, here is the drop down and developer. Okay, so we will able to select a developer. So who are the developers? See, again these are the developers. Okay, again I have to create a query to get the developer name. So instead of that I'm just hard coding the value here only. We can reference same like this, like the project data we have reference. So again I have to create like here, and instead let me just use it local bank developer. Developer name we have already used, developers. and let me just hard code it here only. Okay, so first developer is what? First developer is let me copy. Is the data wrong or what? Okay, I have so now let's use the developers here. Ashish is there, next is Saurav is there, and third is Peter is there. So these are the three developers. Okay, if I test it, the data will come here. Okay, so let me just point, yeah, developer name Ashish, Saurabh, Peter, three are there, and they should be able to refer or okay, fine. So let's just go and refer the choice values here as local bank developers. Okay, done, and here as well we will give it local bank developers. Done. And now we should be able to see Ashish, Saurabh, Peter, three developers are there. Now again we will take a text box. Okay, we will take a text box here, and in this we will map what are the projects they have worked on. Okay, projects worked on. So what are the different projects they have worked on? So how to get that? So again we have to create an expression rule, and this will be actually the expression rule for one to many. Okay, so get developer projects. So what are the projects the developer has worked on, so that we will create it. Okay, so again we have to start with a bank query record type. And what is the record type? This time the record type is what we have to do. What we have to select a developer name. It means that developer record will be already there, and from developer record we will with the help of relationship we will go into the project record, and we will get the project's name. So this is the scenario. Okay, so developer is there. Okay, ys developer, fine. And now let's consider the paging info is bank paging info. Okay, so 1 of 10 we will consider. Okay, dot data, done. And now let's see, all the developers are here, fine. Now what we want here is we want to filter the data with the help of developer name. It means that we have to add some dynamic value. For that I'm adding the okay, developer name rule input, and it will be text. Okay, so let's just use filters here. Okay, and okay, again I only have to use a single filter, a bank query filter. Okay, and what is the field on which I have to map? So the field will be of developer, so directly don't give developer name or name here. We have to use the developer ys developer dot fields and dot name, like this. And then operator is this one, and then the value is rule input developer name. That's it. Let's add the null check before only, because otherwise it will start breaking in the UI. Okay, if it is null, rule input developer name. Okay, then like this, fine. So even if we don't give anything, it won't break, fine. Till here it is fine. So filters, now we want the fields. So in the fields, what we want to configure actually, so if you see that we need what, if I give Peter here, so I want to know Peter has worked on how many projects. Okay, so first of all I have to how to do the relationship. Let's see it again. First of all, give the whatever the record you are currently, with the help of record type you have filtered or queried the data that is there. First record dot, then relationship, then we have to go into project. Now once we have reached the project record, now we will select the field names for the project record. So we need what? Project names. Okay, so now if I give that, so you can see he has worked on medical project. And last time we have seen that we were getting a lot of data. Okay, so these all data we were getting, so we will query the data so that we don't need all this data. We only need what? We only need the project names. Okay, so first of all we have to make it a bit, we have to get the data property. Okay, and then we will remove dot, and then this is data. So if something is not there, it won't break, that's fine. Now the second property, we have got till the data, and data is here. Now the second property will be what? We have to go to YS project and then name. Okay, so let's go there, property of, let's add here as well. Now how to go to the YS project? First of all, you can see that how to go to YS project. First of all, we have to go to YS developer, then with the help of relationship come here. Don't directly go into YS project because it won't recognize, because the data has been queried on what type? Developer. So first of all we have to go to the developer one. Okay, where is the okay, this is the first property. So first of all I have to go to the developer dot relationship project, and then I have to go to the, sorry, not the fucking relationship, fields, and then project name, and if it's not there then null give. Okay, now let's see. So now we will be able to get the project names. Okay, if I use Saurav, so you can see that Saurav has worked on insurance and sales, 2 projects. Okay, so now it is fine, this expression rule is working fine. Now let's copy this expression rule and let's use it here. Local bank dev projects, something like this. I have created a local variable rule bank. This rule I will call it here, and now in the developer name I have already created a rule input. I remember I haven't created, so let's create something as div, and let's map text, create it. Okay, and for now I will just keep it rule input div, and I guess it is not mapped here as well. Projects worked on, and this is the developer, this is the value is rule input div, save into rule input div. Fine, so projects worked on, this is a fine. Value, okay, so this is the value for the text field where I have to show. So where is the data? Okay, so before seeing it, let's see the data is coming actually or how it is coming. Let me just refresh the UI once. So these are the project data that we don't need now. These are the dev projects. Okay, if I choose Saurabh, so let's see, insurance cell is populating. If I choose Peter, then medical is there. If I choose Assis, then banking and vehicle management is coming. 2 items are there. Okay, so it is working fine, and here in the value we will select it rule in local bank dev projects. This was the local variable, and let's make this read only. Read only is true. Fine, so let's see. So now you can see that our data is working fine. Okay, so let's see that. So if I select any project, so I will get developer name like Assis has worked on it. So if I select Assis, so I will also get like he has worked on banking and vehicle management as well. So this is a kind of one-to-many relationship. Okay, so one developer has worked on 2 projects. If I select this insurance project, so I will get Saurabh name as well. So this was you can say that simple or basic understanding about record relationships. So we saw like how to create a record relationship. From developer we created one to many relationship. Okay, here make sure this you have some fields in other table of the same type, which from through which like we can link these two tables. Okay, so that one we saw it, and vice versa also we created many to one relationship, so that vice versa we can refer the data from there. And for the both the cases we saw the practical examples as well, like how the data is getting populated. Okay, so that's all in this video for now. Thank you.